Hi, everyone. My name is David Kelly. I'm the Program Director for the eLearning Guild, and it's my pleasure to welcome you to another Twist Conversation. Today, I'm pleased to be welcoming Jeffrey Goldman from Johns Hopkins Healthcare, and we're going to be talking about the need for e-learning content to be concise. Welcome, Jeff.
Thank you. Thank you for having me here.
Thank you for joining me. Can you take a moment and introduce yourself to our audience?
Yeah, I'm Jeff Goldman. I'm with Johns Hopkins Healthcare. We provide managed care to the Johns Hopkins Health System and University, and I've been an e-learning designer here just about 5 years.
Excellent. I know you've been a great contributor to the Guild. A lot of our conferences and such, you've been a very welcome speaker participating in DemoFest, so we're really looking forward to having you talk about sharing your expertise at Devlearn this fall. And I know that you've been in this field for a while, you've seen it evolve over time. I'm curious, what do you think some of the biggest challenges that e-learning designers and developers are facing in today's environment?
Well, I think today, and I've been doing e-learning for about 15 years. I remember starting in e-learning and they would say, try to keep a course under an hour. And now, it's tough to keep people's attention for 10, 15 minutes. So I think a big challenge is being able to, provide a course that's perfect for our audience. And it's not just a millennial issue. I know a lot of millennials like, quick, learning, but also just people on the go. I work with doctors and nurses and people that have to be on the phones with patients, and they can't, give me a lot of time. So we have to be short, quick, concise. The more concise the course, the better. And that's a real challenging thing to do.
Yeah, it definitely is. I mean, I know conversations that I have with designers and developers, a lot of times they talk about how challenging it is to deal with scope creep, and sometimes I would joke and say, I don't have to worry with scope creep in my environment because the people that I'm dealing with start with everything. There's nothing left to plug in. They want everything covered. So how do you manage that as in your work? How do you work with SMEs to help them understand how to be concise in terms of what the content is?
Yep. I think working with subject matter experts, the first thing is they need to know your role. A lot of times they don't know what an instructional designer is. A lot of times they think that they're supposed to be an instructional designer. They think that they're supposed to design this and write all the content. So first thing I do is I let them know my role, that, really I'm going to pick their brain and I'm going to write the content in an instructionally sound manner. I don't want to insult them because a lot of times they'll throw a lot of stuff out there and they'll feel, oh, well, you rewrote it for me. I'll let them know I'm reshaping it to make it work online, and they'll usually respect that. I also do a thorough needs analysis, and one thing I'll never do is go to a subject matter expert and say what should they learn, because they're just going to say everything and they're going to throw all that information at you. I want to do needs analysis. I want to identify. I want to ask them, what are the learners going to be doing? What are they going to be, what tasks? So if someone says, I want to train on SharePoint, I want to know, what are they going to be doing with SharePoint? And I'll train them on the information that they need to be able to succeed in their job.
That's excellent. So it sounds like there's more of a focus on what people need to know rather than what the SME wants them to know.
Definitely. Definitely. I had an old boss who used to say, the SMEs want to give them a PhD. We just want to give them enough to make them dangerous.
I like that. That's really good. So when it comes to the design aspect and when you start actually building these modules and these courses, you still have the challenge of you have this much content, but you want to design an experience that takes this much content but presents it in a concise way. Can you give me an idea of some of the strategies that you use to communicate information effectively and efficiently in part of your design?
Well, one thing I do is I take that information and I create must-dos, good to know, good to do, and that nice to know. And those must-knows, the journalists used to say, those are the things that would be above the fold, above the fold in the newspaper. Those are things I want to emphasize. Those good to knows and those nice to knows. I'm not going to say I'm going to eliminate them because a lot of times the SMEs want that nice to know in there, but they don't have to be right up front. So maybe those things are additional resources or inside a link. But I also use a lot of interactives, things like games and interactives that will, pull things down in size. And then I like using analogies too. A lot of people come to the table already with a lot of knowledge already in their head. If you can tap into that and say it's similar to this, you don't have to explain it in great length because they might already know quite a bit. You just need to use that analogy. Same thing with visuals too. Pictures are worth 1,000 words, right? So maybe you can cut that course down by 1,000 words using a picture.
That's excellent. Well, I know you're going to be doing a concurrent session at Devlearn this October that takes a deeper dive into this topic. If I'm going to be an attendee in your session, can you give me an idea of what my experiences are going to be like? What am I going to learn about during that hour?
Well, I'm going to walk through a process, and I call it IMPS. It's identifying objectives, managing your stakeholders in SMEs, prioritizing the content, and then streamlining it. So I actually have this process that works well within the instructional design process. And I like to think that people are going to walk out of there saying, I can actually start doing this. I can actually go back, start managing my SMEs better, start streamlining my content, and creating more concise, courses that are concise but still have a good punch and are to the point and instructionally sound. Another thing, too, that I like to do during my presentation, I like to show a lot of examples. So I'm going to show examples of courses that I've made concise and the strategies and the tips and the tricks that I've actually done. So I love sharing examples of that stuff, and hopefully people walk out of there going, hey, that inspired me to make a course or take that same approach to a course.
I love the fact that you shared that, because having been someone who's contributed to the Guild conferences a while, I can confirm based on the feedback that I see from your sessions that those examples that you share are really powerful for people and really meaningful, and it's one of the reasons you get such great feedback. So I'm glad you mentioned that.
No, thank you.
Well, if you want to learn more about Jeff's session or at any of the sessions that are going to be taking place at Devlearn, please do visit our website, devlearn14.com. The Devlearn Conference and Expo is taking place October 29th through 31st in Las Vegas. And if you want to learn more about any of the concurrent sessions or any of the activities going on at the conference this year, please do visit the website, devlearn14.com. Jeff, I want to thank you so much for taking some time to chat with me this morning.
All right, well, thank you. I appreciate it, and I'm really looking forward to this conference. It's always a great time. And congratulations on it being a 10th year anniversary.
Thank you. Yeah, we're really looking forward to it. It's going to be some fun stuff going on this year. So I thank you. I thank you so much again, Jeff, and I thank you for watching today. We'll see you next time on Twist Conversations. Take care, everybody.